Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca Meisel. This week, we have some really beautiful themes to tune into, and I'm really excited to share some of the energetics that we have going forward for this week. So this week we have this amazing energy around prioritizing strength and also bringing forward this theme of peace and community and taking the action steps that we need to really propel our forward movement and manifestations. So let's kick off with this first channeling here, the first theme, which is all about prioritizing strength. So prioritize your strength physically and mentally. Look at your food and look at the high vibrational nutrients that you are taking in every single day. It's time to rethink the basic steps that you need to take towards your goals. What brings you the most joy? What is most in alignment? What allows your soul to sing? And what repels you? Give yourself permission to try a new way, to try new things that don't drain or take away from you, but allow you to feel refreshed, replenished, healthy, and strong. Go back to your roots. So what needs to be prioritized today? So this was really interesting. So we're actually getting this really big theme of health again as we move into this week. And so where are you with that? How are you physically feeling? How are you mentally feeling? Where are your thoughts? Where is your mind at every single day? How is the body physically feeling in the sense of your workout routine, the foods you consume? What are those things, and how are we prioritizing them in our daily existence? So this week we're going to have a really heightened awareness around that and our physical bodies, which makes a lot of sense considering we are in Scorpio season, which is a lot about the physical. Scorpios are very physical people, but as well as very spiritual people. And so we're going to have this energy very present this week of needing to align both and take a look at both areas. So they're kind of showing me someone with their head in the clouds. So maybe we've been really stuck in, the spiritual aspects of life, and we haven't taken the same consideration to our physical body, perhaps our 3D world. So we're going to have this balance that wants to start coming in here this week. So are you feeling well? How is your body every single day? Are you bloated? Are you feeling drained? Are you worn out? Are you tired? Like, these might be things we want to look into a little deeper. Is there any ailments that are a problem for you? A flare-up that's happening, right? These are all calls to action from our physical bodies. So have you been learning how to listen? We had a huge theme around that last week. Are you learning how to listen to your body? Listen to the physical promptings of yourself. And to really start taking a look at taking actions that are very aligned, even in the most basic steps every day. So there's a huge emphasis on food this week and making sure that we're topped up. So what's been coming through very recently as well this past week, I've been getting so much information around how it's so important that we learn how to take care of ourselves properly because of what's to come. We need to have our cups full. We need to know how to do that. We need to know and master meeting our needs every single day and getting very in tune with our physical body so we know when we've crossed a line and we don't do it again. So as light workers, they're really getting this very strong message this week. Are you feeling your best? And if you are not feeling your best, what course corrections need to happen so you can be in your best space? And that also includes your head space. So we're going to notice this again this week, this continuous theme. What programs are you running? Are they good for you? What are your thoughts every day? Are they good for you? Are they giving you nourishment? Are these thoughts you're having conducive to your dreams? Are they motivating you? Are they inspiring you? Are they encouraging you? Or are you still struggling with the bully in your brain? So be mindful this week. Where is there self-criticism? Where is there lack mindsets? Where are there programs still running behind the scenes that we know now we need to let go? So be very, very mindful this week and take extra care to analyze these things and where you're truly at, honestly. So with this need to be in the best space possible, that means we have to once more look at what is high vibration. So they're kind of showing me how our thoughts need to be high vibration, how our food needs to be high vibration. So when we're looking at that, our fitness, is your fitness high vibration? And what I mean by that is, does it give you good vibes? Do you feel good consuming this food? Do you feel good in your own mind? Right? These are the things we have to look at. So there was this big emphasis on fitness as well. So what have you prioritized in that? So they're showing me someone who's very caught up in the social trends, and what we're seeing a lot of that's trending a lot is this energy of being muscular, as an example, being incredibly fit, releasing any body fat, being toned. This is a big one that I'm seeing a lot personally. And it's so easy to get caught up in that when a lot of us do not have the frame to achieve that impossible standard or to attain and maintain it properly and healthily. So they're kind of showing me and giving me this example of someone who's trying to align with this look, this aesthetic, but perhaps it's actually physically impossible for them in a healthy way to achieve that look. So they're kind of showing me how we are once again holding ourselves up to a very impossible standard. And I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm not saying that to stop you from working out and building strength. No. But what I'm saying is, where are we holding standards for ourselves that might not be healthy? And so we have to get honest in these areas as well and go, okay, do I feel physically well doing this style of workout? Does it make me feel empowered? Does it make me feel strong? Do I feel my best doing this? Because they're really been giving me this energy of over-exercising. This has been something that came up last week as well. So this might be a message for someone who's listening to this. Are you over-exercising and wearing yourself out to achieve this look or standard or aesthetic? And they're kind of showing me hormones at this time. So are your hormones balanced? Are your hormones being affected? Are you eating enough? Are you training in a balanced way? So these are things we need to look at. And then we can also go the other end of the spectrum. Are you eating unhealthy? Are you not taking care of yourself in those aspects? Are you ensuring you are getting daily movement of some sort? So we're getting this really big pull and push to look at what makes us feel the best. So allow yourself to remove the rigidity, the rules around this, societal aspects and opinions on this, and start thinking about health, because health equals wealth, okay? So if your body is telling you no, you need to listen. And if your body is telling you yes, then you need to listen. So allow yourself to go into that and really learn how to intuitively gauge what is actually healthy for you as an individual. So are these things high vibration in your life? And if they are not, giving you high vibes, then it's time to say goodbye. It's time to let it go. We are building a brand new foundation for ourselves and for our lives. So make sure you are prioritizing what is actually important and good for you. So I love how they're kind of going, allow yourself to try a new way, right? And the key here is allowing, right? So once again, we might have some very strong ingrained programs that are telling us, oh no, this is the only way you can be fit. This is the only way you can, achieve that look is by doing this style of training or doing this way of eating, but your body is suffering, right? So this is where we need a reality check, and we need to allow ourselves to think differently, because what if that's not true? What if that's not true, right? This is part of the spiritual journey. We have to start looking at things and being willing to look at things in a new way. This is the only way we grow. So what they're kind of showing me is we're blasting through these previous belief systems. So where are we tying worth to what we look like? And they were showing me how small-minded this is and how we have to start expanding our awareness. So literally what channeled was, stop being so narrow-minded. Look bigger. See bigger. Your mind must expand. How do you want to feel every day? And what is it that you feel most? Is it stress? Is it anxiety? Is it sadness? Is it pressure? The time to make change is now. And they were showing me how a healthy mind equals a healthy body. So let's pause here. With this beautiful review, we're getting so much about being willing to blast through what has kept us inhibited, and especially in this area of health. And I feel like this is such a cool approach these past few weeks, because we don't always talk about this. We always talk about, a lot of these deeper, more spiritual understandings, which is wonderful, but we can sometimes ignore some of the most basic things, which are very spiritual, like our bodies and the way we live our lives every day. That's important. That's almost the most important before we start elevating to these other streams of awareness and consciousness. We've got to master our daily lives, our daily schedules, the way we eat, the way we feel. And I love how they really brought this point out. It's like, how do you feel every day? Okay, what are these main feelings that you are experiencing on a daily basis? And are they the feelings you want to be experiencing every day? So once again, this is the time for us to question our beliefs. This is the time for us to analyze and take an honest look in the mirror and go, okay, if this is making me feel like crap, then I need to change something, right? So let's rewire. Let's take control of these mindsets this week and make the change. So healthy mind equals healthy body. Express your emotions and see the link between the physical, emotional, mental, and energetic. Everything is connected. It's time to do things for your own well-being. How healthy is your mind? Great question. How healthy do you think your mind is? Have you checked in with that? How healthy is the place you live every day in your own head? Great question. So what came through was read uplifting material, listen to music, watch positive content, eat healthy, eat well. How do you start each day? Practice what you preach. Take good care of you and discover what that really means. Okay, I love this because they're kind of showing me like a light worker who's like very loving and is always there for everyone and telling everyone, please take good care of you. You are the most important thing, right? But then they're failing to do that themselves. And this is something we see a lot of, especially when we're known to be those caregivers. We're known to overextend ourselves. But this is where we might get a reality check this week and go, hey, like, what about you? Are you practicing what you preach every day, right? So where do you need to take some time and get very honest? And once more, take control of the narrative. So we have, once again, similar messages from last week. We need to be focusing on positivity. We need to allow ourselves to consume uplifting material every single day and feed our minds something different. So they're also showing me the importance of something different. So if you are taking in the same types of material over and over and over, and you're not getting any shifts happening, if you're not noticing any change happening, then what in the material we're consuming needs to change. So they're also giving me this example of someone watching the news. You know, we have the big election this week. We have these really important big world themes that are coming in. For those, especially in America. So a lot of you might be feeling that. A lot of you might be like, oh my gosh, like we need change, we need these things, but maybe we are focusing so much on that and we're getting so consumed in that we're neglecting other information that we need to be taking in at this time for our well-being, for our daily experience. Because ultimately, no matter what the future holds, we have to be willing to have our own back and take very good care of ourselves. So they're kind of showing me like it's okay to take a step back from that this week if you need to. If things are getting too insane and too worrying or burdening, if information overload is happening or confusion is happening, give yourself time to take a step back and take care of you. Okay, I'm really hearing that. So how do you start each day, right? So this is another reminder. Apparently we need it again this week. How are you starting your day? Practice what you preach and take good care of you. And discover what that truly means. So for each of us, that's going to look different. What each of us needs is going to be different. Some of us, we're going to need to, meditate first thing in the morning. We're going to want to spend some time, in our own little bubble and slowly start our day. For others of us, we might want to just dive right into something and get going right away, or have a good breakfast right solid in the morning, right? Like, what are these things that work best for you? And how can you start listening to your body's natural inclinations in that? So if your body's like, I'm a slow waker-upper, I need more time, I just want to be slow in the morning, then gift yourself that. If you have work, then how can you wake up a little bit earlier and just let yourself have a few moments to just enjoy your coffee or read your book or whatever it is you feel you want to do that gives you that you time right away, right? These are things we got to start thinking of and being aware of. So a lot of us are feeling burdened. This is what was coming in next. Are you feeling overburdened? What exactly is giving you anxiety? How can you lighten your load? Okay, and they were showing me the nervous system being incredibly important to look at this week as well. So we're learning a lot of this in more recent times. about the nervous system and how we need to be very mindful of not overwhelming ourselves, of not overdoing it, needing to really be mindful of going slowly, being more in our feminine energy, being calm and promoting peace. We had that huge theme of peace last week. So how can you proceed to look after yourself in love? So what came through was set intentions for growth in your mindsets that keep you small, stuck, or stressed. Okay? And they were showing me what will help as well, as opposed to just reading uplifting material or taking in uplifting content, was actually freedom through movement. So a lot of us are going to notice that somatic movement is going to be very highlighted. We're going to need that. We're going to want to do some yoga. We're going to want to dance or shake it out. We're going to want to stretch and open up the hips and open up the heart. You know, these are things that we're going to really want to do this week. And it's very pivotal we do that, because it's going to help bring balance to the chakra system, bring balance to our nervous system, as well as help us to get out of our heads and into our bodies. So this is also going to be very wonderful for us for those of you who need to release emotion, who need to release pent up fear or anxiety. We need to have these avenues to let it go, to let it out, okay? So there's a huge focus on inner peace and flowing in beauty. I love that. So some of us are needing to take time for physical touch as well. So they're kind of showing me how physical touch is a natural need. And some of us might need to actually go and book massages, give ourselves massages, do Reiki this week, hug and hold our loved ones, cuddle with our loved ones. These are things that are going to be incredibly important to feed our souls and our bodies and really help shift the energy, because they're actually showing me when someone is held for some time, it shifts that person's energy. It shifts that person's vibration, because they're physically feeling the sensation of, I can let go now. I can be held now. I can be at peace now, right? So allow yourself the gift of loving touch. This is also really coming through. So release the need to be everything to everyone all the time. Look at the great Mother Earth. Even she takes a period of rest. And they're showing me how the seasons, the change in the seasons, and how we're moving into winter. We're moving into this time to hibernate, to be warmed by the fire, to be held, and just to rest, right? So are we taking note of this change in the season, and are we learning to flow with that? Because we are nature. Have you been looking at this? Have you been sensing this? Have you been noticing this? So you might be criticizing yourself and going, man, my energy's dropped so much. I just want to be home and be a little hobbit for the year, And it's like, well, yeah, we're going into wintertime. We're going into hibernation mode. We are nature. So the seasons affect us. The seasons affect you. So are you also noticing if Mother Earth takes time to slow down, why can't you? You are nature, okay? So we're having this amazing energy shift that is going to affect our physical vessels, okay? So be mindful of that this week. So learn to flow peacefully. You are completely safe in the arms of God forever. Trust you are safe. There is no need to hide yourself anymore. You are free. So with this being held energy, we're going to start feeling safe. And that's because we ourselves are once more learning to trust. We are learning to surrender. We are learning to flow this week. And they're kind of showing a lot of us being in this in-between space where it's like we're getting downloads about what's next, but we don't really know how to get there, or we're also feeling like new beginnings are started or have started, but we're like, how do we propel it? How does this happen? Maybe we're not getting all the information we feel we need. So in that space of in between, this is that prime time to show up for yourself, to be there for yourself and practice peace and surrender, okay? So we really need to learn this. We really need to learn this. So learn to flow peacefully. You are safe in the arms of God forever. There is no need to hide yourself anymore. You are free. Now, this last part, we're getting a really cool theme here because we might get these energies of impatience, of like, why are my goals not here? Why are things taking so long? We might get this week. And through that, we might also notice that in this time of pause and slow down, that we start kind of focusing on our fears. And this happens, when you have a period of just like nothing going on and your mind can't be busy on other things. Sometimes that's the time that these fears and these emotions are like, oh, great, they've slowed down enough, so let's purge. Let's get this out. So this week you might notice this little bit of fear or these old emotions come up, and they're showing me in the hip area. So be very mindful of your hips, very mindful of your sacral chakra this week and opening that up and opening your hips and stretching and focusing your movements there. Your Reiki there, if you do Reiki. So these are areas that might come to light. And then they're also showing me how our eyes have been covered to the truth of what we're really fearing. So we're afraid perhaps to be free. And that's something that might really come up in the sense of, okay, my dreams are going to come in soon. I feel that, I know that, but that requires me to be in the spotlight. That requires me to be this real leader. And we might have those fears that surface. So learning we're safe is going to be key. And feeling safe is going to be key. So what channeled next was fear of exposure and vulnerability. It is okay to ask for help. This is super interesting. So we might need to ask for help this week. We might need others to come in and be like, hey, I think you are going to be okay. Hey, maybe you need to course correct here, or maybe this is just an old stagnant belief that you just need to let go of. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be great. It's almost like we need a little side cheerleader, and that's what they're kind of showing me. It's like little cheerleaders coming in this week and be like, no, don't give in to the fear. Don't give in to that. Like, let's keep going. You got this. So we're needing that positive reinforcement. So I'm really seeing it's important you share this week. Share with others, share with a loved one and a trusted soul family member, like what is going on, what you're feeling, what you're shifting through, the fears of the unknown. Get it all out there. So what came through was energetic clearing is necessary for you to make room for joy. Now this is cool because what actually came through was this energy of relocation. Some of us are going to really feel that this week. So as we purge, as we clear and make space for new, some of us are actually making space for a new home, making awareness in our energetic fields that, hey, okay, I feel like this might not be the place for me anymore. And it's time to move on. It's time to make things happen. So what came through was home shift, relocation, and what is going to give you the most bliss. So as we start coming to awareness of what is going to give us joy, we might notice these themes that relocation might be necessary. So what changes in your life could bring more blessings and abundance? It's time to think of what you really want now. What would set you free? Super interesting. So as we process these fears, as we bring them to illumination and we come forward from that space of compassion, we might start realizing now that the fear is gone, you're ready to shine. You're ready to move forward. So take a look at that. Is your current community serving you? Are the people in your life serving you? Is the location you're in serving you? Do you feel like this is the right space to be? Because a lot of us are going to be called to shift and move geographically. And it is all because I just heard the work is done. The work is done. It is finished. It is complete. You've now cleared this space now for something new, and you're needed somewhere new. So for those of you that this resonates with, really think about that. What are the life changes that I need to make so I can really live a life of bliss, that I can really be the full expression of myself? And if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling repressed or suppressed in any way, how can we shift things? Where do you need to be so you can be welcomed, so you can feel the community, so you can feel safe to be yourself always? So they're kind of showing me this big emphasis on friend groups and community especially. Like, do you feel loved for who you are, where you are? Are there areas that need to shift in this, right? And where are those people? Where are your soul families? Are they there or are they somewhere else? And could you maybe consider ensuring that you are around those people more often? And what's that got to look like, right? So I just keep hearing to think on this, to meditate on this, and listen to the voice of your heart. So if you're like, well, I have no idea where it'd go. It's like, well, let the heart lead. And once more, you don't have to have all the answers this week. What they're really kind of showing me is just get clear on your desire. Get clear on what you really want. This is going to really streamline your manifestations when we have an exact picture of what we need to make us happy, and to not only that, expand our happiness on a daily basis. So let the heart lead and release all expectations. Be free. So from there, we also are going to see changes and shifts wanting to come in our career. So once more, we have to acknowledge we have shifted. We ourselves as individuals have changed very, very strongly over the past couple years alone. So the more we're in this shift of self-love and healing, they're kind of showing me, like, for a lot of us, the big chunk of healing that we've needed to do is done. So we're not going to be in this space of old vibrations anymore. We're in a new space. This is a new beginning for a lot of us. So these outside things, these external things in our world have got to now mirror and match vibrationally who we've become. So in your career, how are you feeling about it, right? What needs to align now to meet you? What needs to shift now to meet you? What needs alignment? So career changes that need to align with your new goals. What would give you the most fulfillment? What will bring the most peace and satisfaction? Address the fears of being seen. You've been locked inside for long enough. It is time to get out there, to be in your community. What can you do to make a difference? How can your soul step out and shine? It's time for heart-to-heart connection. And it's time to leave behind these feelings of the past of not belonging, not feeling good enough, and triumph in your own bliss. So, does your career currently match your forward goals? Is it in alignment with who you've become? And what needs to now shift? Right? So they're kind of showing me someone who's been doing the same repetitive thing over and over and over, or offering the same things over and over and over. But because they've become so much more enlightened and so much more aware of what they really want to do, and getting more clarity around what they really want to do and the person they want to be, what they're offering might need to shift now. Because you're like, well, I see there's so much more that I need to start adding in now. So as an example, like customization of your offering. So if you're someone you're only offering, say, just Reiki, say you're a light worker and you do Reiki, and that's all you're offering, but you're like, well, I'm getting so much intuitively now. Like I'm getting all these messages now. I'm getting all this stuff now. Could you consider adding that together? Could you consider shifting your services and going, okay, well, I'm going to also add channeling here as an example, or I'm going to also add some cards here to my offering. And they're just kind of showing me like, so all facets of you are feeling acknowledged and expressed, because you shouldn't have to just be one thing. You are a multifaceted being. So all parts of you deserve to be seen, to be honored, and to be heard. So are there any parts of you that are not feeling included in what you are doing currently? And how can you allow all parts of you to show up and be seen? Right? So these are things we have to think about. And release this need to hide yourself. Release the need to hide parts of yourself. So once more, maybe these are parts we're subconscious about. Maybe you're like, well, oh my gosh, now if I start channeling for people or start sharing messages for people, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm not right? What if, what if? But we need to take the leap. And they're really showing me that it's time to take the leap, my friends. You have a gift and you need to be using it. You need to be sharing it. How sad is it if you keep this locked away? Don't lock it away anymore. You deserve to shine and to trust. How much can you trust that God is working through you? How much can you trust that God gave you this gift for a reason? It is meant to be shared. It is meant to be seen. Don't hide anymore. You're not here to hide. You are here to shine. Okay? So release these feelings. Let go of the emotions that you're harboring around not being accepted, around judgment, around these fears. Whatever this is, it's time to get it out. It's time to let it be surrendered to the universe. And they're kind of showing me that that might actually be a great visualization, is when you are meditating and feeling these feelings, picture them being all bottled up, put into a suitcase, and then sending it off to God and going, there you go, God, take this for me. Universe, take all of this. I don't know what to do with it, so take this. Hold it for me. Help me release this. And they're just saying it's such a great visual to help us really surrender it, to really let it go. okay? So be at peace in your heart. All is coming at the right time. In the meantime, take empowered action. We know it's hard to wait, but be patient. Everything is coming together now. And isn't that true? You know, when we just let things flow and let things be, release control of things, let God handle it for us, it's amazing what happens. And always, everything is always ends up okay in the end. So what can we do in the meantime to feel our best, to feel the strongest we've ever felt, to be fully empowered and in this amazing leadership role of our lives? Look at that this week. Think on that this week. Don't let your fears take control. You got this, my friends. So that's all I have for this week's update. I really hope it resonates for you. We had some really specific messages this week, so I know it might not be for everyone, but please take what did resonate for yourself and leave the rest. Sending you all so much love and light. Have a beautiful week, my friends. Bye-bye.